Hey everyone, it's Kimmy. I am a 14-year online reseller, and today I have a hodgepodge thrift haul. If you don't know what that is on my channel, every once in a while I have kind of a mix of a haul from a couple different places. So I do not live very close to my thrift stores or places that I source to. So sometimes I might hit up a thrift store very quickly in between appointments or in between dropping my kids off or something. So that's how I end up with a hodgepodge thrift haul, just meaning it came from a couple different sources. And one is one that I really don't talk a lot about. I only got a couple items, but I thought it would be fun to throw that in here. And my kids picked up a couple of these items. They're like, "Are you going to mention me on the channel?" I'm like, yes I am. So we went to a Goodwill. You know, most of my sourcing locations are at least 30 minutes away, sometimes longer. My bins is an hour away for me when I go there. And my sons wanted to go, and I also wanted to bring them there so that they could look for like some filler clothes for their closet. They have literally grown up on thrift store clothes. Like basically everything they wear is thrifted, with the exception of like back to school. I'll let them go. We'll go to Kohl's or somewhere and we'll get of course a brand new pair of shoes, because boys go through shoes and they need a good pair of supportive shoes, and like a couple t-shirts or whatever, like Nike. You know, boys are pretty easy, I feel like get them a pair of Nike joggers and a t-shirt and they're good. So other than that though, they've gotten lots and lots of hand-me-downs and thrifted clothes their entire lives. So they're used to going to the thrift store, and it's kind of cool to go to the thrift store. You guys notice this change? Okay. When I first started thrifting, I've been doing this almost 15 years. And sorry, sister, I'm going to call you out a little bit. My one sister kind of felt like it was gross, and which I get, because you do need to make sure you're careful about what you pick up at a thrift store sometimes. But now it's cool. The t-shirt bras are always there. There's always people talking about what they find thrifting. So, hey, I'm moving up on in the world, because now it's not as taboo as it used to be. Does anybody feel that? Has anybody been doing this a long time? Way back in the day, it was you do what? You go to the thrift store? And now there's kind of a movement even within the younger crowd that it's cool to go thrifting, to find things, to check it out. So that was awesome, because my boys, they came right into the Goodwill and found some things that they wanted me to flip. I let them pick out one item a piece, and they were fighting back and forth who was going to make more profit. They're looking it up on their phone, and I like this because they don't have to be thrifters like me. But, there are some business type of components, right, to thrifting. If you're doing a decent job, looking at solds, seeing how much you're going to pay for it, how much you think it's going to go for, all of those things. And granted, they don't do it a whole lot, so I had to help them a little bit. But, it gets their mind thinking about profit and selling and all that. My one son definitely has the gene, meaning it's in his blood. We really feel like it's in our blood in my family, because we all like doing, my sisters and my mom and stuff. So, anyways, I'll start getting to the items. I'm going to start with these two on top, and then I'll show you what my sons picked up. Now, here it is. A little bit of TJ Maxx. Now, if you don't know, TJ Maxx, a couple times a year, usually in between seasonal changes, and right now is that time because we're going back to school, we're going into fall, they will discount their clearance more than normal. It's like the yellow tag sale. You might see posts about it in your reseller groups, and some people do really well buying things from TJ Maxx and flipping them. Now, I don't do this a whole lot. I had to drop my son somewhere, and I had 45 minutes or something, an odd time. And that's what I mean about some of my hauls. It's just an odd time. I was like, you know what, there's a TJ Maxx down the road while he's doing whatever he was doing. I don't even remember. Practice or something. I am gonna stop at TJ Maxx, and I got two items for $11. it was very busy. It was very picked through. But I figure, you know what? It was a way for me to check things out. And here's what I got to flip. This one, I think will do pretty well. See the red tag. Here's your TJ Maxx tag. The red tag is what is the clearance when it goes on clearance like originally. And then the yellow tag is the yellow tag sale. And that's when they discount it even further. Now, honestly, a lot of mine was not discounted that much because I'm cheap. So unless it was a really good brand, I wasn't going to try it. This was the higher priced piece that I got. And for $8, they are the Abercrombie & Fitch Vintage Flare. And I believe that I will be listing this in the $35 range. It is a bigger size. It's a size 36 waist, which I believe is around the 22, plus size 22 range. And the flare is in. Abercrombie has been doing pretty well for me. So these will be new with tags, a harder, larger size. It's a flare, which is in, and the black wash is very common in fall. And I think it's just real trendy right now, the black wash jean. So I don't know what this originally, the TJ Maxx price tag isn't the original price in Abercrombie itself. And of course you have to be careful because a lot of other people do go to TJ Maxx and buy out some of their clearance items. However, I looked up the comps, and this size, brand new with the vintage flare size, was selling pretty consistently the $25 to $30 range. So I'm going to list this at $39. We're going into fall. People will be looking for some new fall items, and it's a harder to find size. So there you go. I paid $8 for that. Now this is also an Abercrombie item, and I was a little torn, but it was only $3. So again, here's the tag. It says it was $25 at TJ Maxx, discount. There's a lot of discount tags on this one. Now, of course, then you also have to think, well, why didn't it sell it at TJ Maxx? I think these two items are because they're bigger sizes. Being a plus size lady myself, a lot of times we don't even try to go into stores because a lot of times they don't have a good selection in our sizes. That's just my opinion. That's how I feel. So, and I've been selling plus sizes online my entire time I've been reselling. So I am going to give this a shot. It was $3 after all the discounts. So that pair was $8. This was $3. Brand new with tags. This is a size 24 waist, plus size 24, which is like a 3X. And they're like a pleather. Now, of course, pleather pant, that's something you're going to wear on a date night. I will use some of those tags. Going out with your girlfriend, special event, bachelorette party, those types of things. Which, they're really nice. They're Abercrombie & Fitch. It's the 90s slim straight. Which, 90s trends and like the flare, they're in right now. So I think this is going to do okay. Again, plus size, only $3. I'm going to list this at $29 and hope to land in the $25 range. And knowing, that it's a plus size, it's new with tags. Abercrombie has been doing good for me. So there you have it. I went to TJ Maxx, had like 42 minutes, didn't find a whole lot. I didn't even really find anything for my kids, which was, I don't know, interesting. Where are my kids? So this is the pair one of my sons picked out, of course. I mean, doesn't this look like something a young teen would pick out to? And I will be honest with you, I am not, I don't know a ton about Nike shoes. I probably know more about grandma shoes than I do Nike shoes. I follow lots of resellers who do a lot in shoes, and especially trendy shoes. I'm not really your girl as far as an expert on Nike shoes. However, this definitely looks like a pair of shoes my kids would wear. They're like the Air Max. Air Force One. That's what they are. Which is a very common, but this isn't vintage. These are 2016, so they're about 10 years old. We looked up the date. If you can find these from the 2000s, then you're really getting into some money here. Now, my son, I told him these are a little pricey. At the thrift store, my thrift stores, a lot of times, anything Nike is priced up to who knows what. They're in pretty good shape, though. I'll clean them up a little bit. I should have my sons clean it up since they're the ones that want me to list it. They paid he paid $14.99 for these. Now the solds, they're a size, men's size 12, so that's a good solid size. The Air Force One, the comps were all over the place, and I think that's part of the difficulty with this style shoe. There's so many selling and people are flipping so many of these shoes. Like I said, these are like a 2016, which doesn't make them vintage, but doesn't make them new. So it's like an odd time frame. Very classic. The solds I found were $30 to $40. Now, whether or not he'll get that, I don't know. But part of the process will be I let them decide, because we've done stuff like this before. So if we get an offer or, you know, someone wants to buy it, I'll say, hey, so-and-so sent you an offer for $30. You want to take it? Here's what your profit is going to be. And really, your profit's only going to be like $10, $15 on those. This is what my other son picked up. Another pair of giant Nike shoes. I forget this guy's name. This was some kind of like basketball guy. DG. And again, I'm just thankful they came to a thrift store with me. I'm thankful to have these moments with them. I don't know what this is. Oh man, that's the so-and-so. Like I said, I know more about like orthopedic shoes than I do Nike shoes. These are size, gosh, these are huge, 14. Why didn't my son try these on? My son is a size 14, 15. Actually, we went yesterday to, I guess this is going to be a chatty thrift haul, sorry. We went yesterday to get the boys' shoes for school, back to school. And we bought my 13-year-old son size 15 shoes. So when I say Sasquatch, I'm not lying. The jeans are big around here. It's something in the water. Anyways, so this 14 might fit him, but these were comped out about the same. He paid $14.99. Oh no, $9.99. Okay, so these were $9.99. That's actually a lot better. Good choice, son. And these were comping out about the same, $30 to $40. This is a harder to find size. 14's a big size. Try finding size 14 shoes. Oh, it's very difficult. And again, it's like a Nike. So we'll see which son does well. I'm gonna get those listed this week, maybe even today, and see how they do. What do you guys think? What one do you think will win? The DG, that is some collab with a basketball player, or the Air Force One, which is like the classic, but there's a lot of comps on those. It was like out of control. I'm like, so these are a pair of Morels. Morel is like a hiking outdoors adventure. These were only $3.99. If you follow my channel for a while, I do like selling hiking type of shoes. Morel is a good brand. We're kind of going out of that season. People might still do a lot of hiking in fall, but they might be more of like boot season. So these may sit, but I only paid $3.99 for these, and they're going to sell in the $20 to $25 range. These are the shoes I picked up for myself. I have to clean them up, but I thought I would still show them. Your girl is a size 12, so I picked these up for me. I thought the color was kind of fun. I'm very plain. You guys, if you've watched my channel, like I'm always in like gray and black. So I'm trying to maybe add a little bit of color. These were kind of rough. I couldn't, yeah, they put $7.99, which I guess is fair because they're pretty dirty. These are gonna have to get cleaned up if that, but these are also an Air Max. I like the color, and it's hard to find a women's size 12, so I was happy to find these. $7.99 is reasonable. They're kind of rough. They're really dirty, but hopefully I can clean them up and then I'll be cute, because your girl is not cute either. So, what did I pay for these? I think this was half off. So I paid $4 for these. They must have been in someone's closet because they're dusty. G.H. Bass. Now I do pretty well in G.H. Bass men's shoes, loafer, Oxford, driving shoes. And this was a certain style. Now the one I talk about a lot is the Weejunes. Those will fetch you $30 to $35 pretty quickly. These were a different style, the Bejewer or something. I looked this up and the comps were about the same with a little less, like a little slower sell-through. but that's fine. These are in great condition. See that dust? They must have been sitting in somebody's closet a long time. These are size 15, huge. Should I have my son try these on? He doesn't really, I mean, he's 13. He doesn't need any dress shoes. But $4, I'm flipping this to $30. I'll list these at $39. And they're really, really nice. If you look up GH Bass shoes, dress shoes, they're $100 shoes. So if you can get them online for $30 to $35, that's a good deal. And those are in great condition. So let's get through a couple more of these shoes. I've already been talking. I'm gonna have to call this the chatty thrift haul. Sorry about that. These are Teva sandals. What is it? Potato or potato? You tell me. How do you say Teva? Teva. Ginger Marvin says it Teva. Anyways, this is a good brand to know. Looks like there's a couple little. Oh, it was dust. I just wiped it right off. Teva sandals. It does have a little bit of these are more of like a cute casual shoe, which I like. A lot of the Teva sandals are more of like that morel sandal, hiking, adventure, camping. These are cute. And they only had $2.99 on them. Again, this is a pretty quick flip to $20 to $25. I'll probably list them at $29, just like the morels, and hopefully land in the 25-ish range. These are Crocs. I love selling Crocs shoes. $3.99. I'm surprised at a couple of these. I don't get lucky usually. I mean, Crocs, but this is I should have mentioned that. So this is, first I had the TJ Maxx. Part of that, like the boys' shoes, were from a Goodwill, and this is from a different thrift store because it's like a hodgepodge of 3 different quick trips where I just like flew through and tried to find things. As you can see, like that's not a Goodwill sticker. So sorry that I did not mention that. So these Crocs though for $3.99, the Teva sandals for $2.99. That's honestly an awesome price. I'm very thankful for that. And people don't know that like Croc makes different things, different types of shoes besides the classic plastic, you know, that all the kids are wearing with their little Croc charms. I do pretty well in the sandals, like different women's styles that are not like the classic Croc. So I just sold a different pair of Crocs for like $25-30. And I've sold their ballet style for also $25-30. So if you can get them at a pretty low cost or at the bins, and of course the bottoms need to look good. If you got a giant hole right here, or the whole thing looks like you could go down a slip and slide, then you don't want those. But these are really cute. These are going to be another $29 list, and I paid $3.99. Now these were more of a style-based pickup. They are vintage, size 9. I do pretty well in this style shoe. This is witchy, fairy, goth, vampcore. Usually I do a little bit better in the black color. We'll see how this like rich chocolate brown does. I don't even know what that brand says. Made in Brazil leather upper. But this was more of like a style-based piece. You could actually also go like secretary, office, academia with this one as well, which a lot of times in these style shoes I do go both ways as far as the style keywords, because this is also, like I said, vamp, goth. They like that style aesthetic. Those people who wear that type of shoe, that they wear that type of shoe. This is a brand I kind of hemmed and hawed on this one, Fly Flot. I have sold this before, made in Italy. They're in really good condition, and they were $4.99. So I picked them up. Fly Flot. I actually have the solds right up here because it's the only thing that I actually looked up the solds here when I put it all here, and they're pretty consistently going 21, $24.99, 27. This pair went 25, 34.95, 25, 24. So Fly Flot, made in Italy, anti-shock, all the things, and I'll put all those things in my description because people might be looking for. It says anatomical, genuine leather, just like a slip-on. Are these a mule or a clog? I think You could basically call them both mule clog. And this is also from, I have a couple good pickups here. If you're still with me 20 minutes in, here's a couple great pickups in my opinion. I know there was a couple good ones in here. Let's see, is this one of them? Well, this one's an okay one. Ralph Lauren, the Denim and Supply collaboration still does pretty well for me. This almost needs to be steamed. Just a very classic boho embroidered. It's almost like lag and look peasant top, but for sure the Denim and Supply Ralph Lauren combination has always done really well for me. Size medium, 100% cotton. Boho prairie. This isn't really prairie, it's more peasant-y. I'll list that for $29. So that's a good collab to kind of look out for. This, what is this, huh? Oh, this is just a very, it's a bread and butter plus size. As I've mentioned earlier, I do a lot with bread and butter and plus size, and I always have. It's a very nice, like baby doll kind of empire waist, stretchy dress with pockets. This is a $25 list for me. Bread and butter. I know there was something good in here. Here we go. Here's a fun one. I was actually surprised they only had this at $3.99. It's Indian motorcycles. And this is a very classic like moto style tank, like the Henley tank. Double-sided. You have the small graphic on the front and the big graphic on the back. Sometimes Indian motorcycle stuff can sell just as high as like Harley Davidson, because you don't see the Indian motorcycle stuff as much. You can see Harley Davidson quite a bit, but a lot of the thrift stores price it up a ton, and it has a really nice graphic on the back. So I only paid $3.99. I'm listing this for $29 and most likely landing in the $20 to $25 range. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Now I really have a good one. I mean, these are all good. I'm good with all of them, but I just sold this brand for $50. Peruvian Connection. Peruvian Connection. 100% baby alpaca, made in Peru. Oh yeah, stack all those reasons. The brand, the material, made in Peru. This is a size large, and it's a maxi length dress. This is a good one. What I sold the other day was a crochet knit top. It was really pretty. It was in one of my haul videos not long ago, a couple weeks ago, for $52 plus shipping, like within days, really quickly. This is a great brand that I love to sell. I love this cream color. It's neutral. It's screenshot. It's neutral. It's minimal. It's a lot of different. It's lag and look. It's quiet luxury. This baby alpaca is like, the alpaca is a great material if you can find it. I don't find it a whole lot, honestly. Baby alpaca is the Cadillac of alpaca, and it's made in Peru. This is a, should we look it up? I got like 2 more items. Peruvian Connection. And we're going into the season. This is like a sweater dress. It's not a long sleeve sweat, but it's a warmer, softer, cozy material. This is a baby alpaca. It was new. It went for $124, $53, $89, $50, $39, $49, $50. None of these really look like mine, and this one is kind of like it. It's a midi. I have a maxi length. 56, 75, 58. I'm gonna list this, and even based on the item that I just sold for $52, I'm listing this at $69, is what I'm gonna say. And I don't think I'm gonna have any problem at least getting $50, stacking all those reasons, going into that season. That's a fantastic pickup. I didn't show you it. I bought it for $8.99. So, I paid up, but I knew I was paying up for it, and because it was Peruvian Connection baby alpaca made in Peru, This is also I paid $8.99. You need to know this brand too. Farm Rio. And it's new with tags. Does it have a price on it? It sure does. $128 new with tags. Farm Rio. Oops. Now, I think it's like a wrap. Maybe I should. Yeah, but see, it says by Anthropologie right on it. $128. I paid $8.99. It's like a wrap. I have to figure out how it works because it's got these straps that go around it. And it has the all over Swiss dot. Anything Farm Rio. I mean, you want to take a second look at for sure. I have another Farm Rio piece. It's actually sat for longer than I expected right now. I'm probably at 2 or 3 months that I sat. I've gotten a lot of offers, but they've been lowball offers. So either I have to set my mind right and know that I'm not going to get as much as I thought I was going to get, or I'm just waiting it out. Maybe we'll see. Sometimes I wait things out and then boom, it'll sell for what I was hoping for. So you just never know, or what it, is. It's a $128 piece. I'm going to list this probably around $59, $69, 50% off. The original price seems very fair to me. Very cute wrap. Like I said, there's a whole string going on. Brand new with tags, Farm Rio. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Now this was another Anthropologie piece. I did not know this brand though. Ek Jam Factory. Anthropologie has a ton of brands and I still don't know them all. And sometimes I forget about some of them. Ek Jam Factory. This was $3.99 and I believe it was silk. Yeah, and that's actually why I looked at it, because I could feel it with silk. It's a cute little tank top. Only $3.99. That's great. It gives me like sailor vibes almost, nautical, beachy, but kind of travel vibes. This would pair really well with like a white pair of shorts or white pants, khaki. Very cute. $3.99. I believe comps were like in the $25, $30 range for that, and that's great. This is vintage Y2K, which I think is the first time I've said in this video, which is odd. Vintage Y2K, made in the USA, $3.99. The brand, I don't really know. It says Fine with a little lightning bolt and the paper tag underneath. I loved this though. It's like a tiger, and what does it say? Bad kitty. With the, like, in my dreams, if I lost 100 pounds, I would be rocking something like this. Like just biker babe, rocker, just a bad kitty. With the ties, oh yeah, it's moto, it's biker, it's all of those keywords, with the high-waisted pair of jeans. This is just everything to me. $25 on that. Vintage Y2K, and just all the style-based reasons to pick it up. Isn't Bad Kitty like a band or something? Nobody kill me. I don't know all the things. I thought, oh yeah, this Vintage Y2K Bad Kitty. Okay, yeah, it's a thing. Hot Topic, $40, $28. Then you always have to be careful because this is vintage, made in the USA. You have to be careful because everyone wants vintage stuff now. So a lot of places are remaking it. So it'll say it's a vintage design. They may copy this vintage design, but it's not actually vintage. And that's where you can get, yeah, that's going to be at least a $29 list. I paid $3.99. I might go $39 because this one's just sold for $40 plus shipping. It's a little bit different. I love this graphic. What do you guys think? I better finish up. I'm talking too much. I love this. I think it's awesome. Like, I couldn't wait. Like, the right person is going to get that and is going to rock it. Ooh, here's another brand to know. We're almost done here. And it's real small. Underneath here, Buck Mason. Buck Mason, primarily a men's. This is a vintage thermal surplus tee, extra large. And this is great going into fall. This is a base layer. It's a waffle thermal knit. Very classic fall piece, but the brand you do need to know. I could look it up quick. You guys are like, no. Buck Mason. We'll just do a quick one. I'm not 100% cotton. This one just went yesterday for $29. Brand new one went for $60. Pre-owned, here's another one just like mine. $35. And it's not even, these are selling in August. People are gonna be picking this up for the next couple months. They want their waffle thermals, their base layers, you know, things for fall and winter. $40. Wow, I'm actually surprised. I paid $5.99 for this. Pre-owned, this one just went for, this is exactly what I have. Buck Mason Vintage Thermal Surplus Tee. That's exactly what I have here. $38 in August. But I do believe, I've been mentioning this on my channel, that fall stuff is selling. Get it up. Time to get it up. 26, 55, 33, 48. Woo! So this is actually better. I knew Buck Mason was a great brand to know, and not one I find often. So it's a good share for you guys. But also keep an eye out for all these base layers. Even basic brands will get you 20, 25. That's really where I thought I was going to be, is a $29 list, but it looks like this is going to be a $39 list. But base layers going into fall and winter, meaning these waffle knits, if it has any type of wool in it, you know, they're what you put underneath, like your zip ups or your coats or your vests. They do really well. Even a Columbia, of course, if you found like a Patagonia, anything, you know, any of those hiking, outdoors, adventure brands, they will start going. This is a Y2K piece, isn't it? Yeah, it's vintage Tommy Hilfiger Tommy jeans. And I just listed something very similar to this for $29. This is another Y2K vintage style based piece. I had something very, every time I find a piece like this, it just brings me back to when I was 20 and young and cool. This is what I wore, and I was 20 and, you know, I don't want to tell you how old I am, but I was in part of that Y2K era a little bit, and we wore stuff like this, and you layered it. You'd put a lace, you might put 2 lace camis underneath this with the button-up blazer thing. Then you'd wear your favorite black boot-cut pants and probably a big chunky necklace. Who's with me? You guys remember these? I definitely wore this. And you can tell by the tag that this is Y2K. It says right here, 2005. So you're almost getting out of the Y2K era, but that's 20 years old. So it is truly vintage Y2K Tommy jeans, little blazer. This was so popular back in the 2000s era. And there we go. I was talking too much. It took longer than I expected, but hopefully some helpful things in there. Let me know what you think about the shoes for my sons. I'm excited to get those up and see how they do. You know, when you're buying shoes at $10, $15, you know, it's a little bit harder to make profit. A lot of the shoes I personally purchase for resale come from the bins. And my bins is very competitive, so I get lucky every once in a while. I found some Sorels the other day. I don't know why someone didn't pick them up at the bins. So, you know, those only cost $3 to $5, and I listed them for like $45. So a lot of my shoes come from there. Like if I'm buying the Crocs from the bins, they're so lightweight. They're made of plastic most of the time, or whatever plastic material it is. And so those only cost me $1 or $2. So at a regular Goodwill, buying Nike Air Force Ones, you know, you're paying up for it. So we'll see how those go. And some really solid pieces, some great brands to know. Buck Mason, Peruvian Connection, Farm Rio Anthropology. There's that other Anthropology in there. Definitely some great brands to know there. And some style-based pickups and some bread and butter with some plus size in there. Awesome hodgepodge haul, and that's about it here. You guys check in, let me know how you're doing. I've been putting up a few more videos than normal. Hopefully I'm not annoying you guys. No one wants to listen to me every day. I don't even want to. So I'm gonna do my cross posting and some shipping. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening if you made it this far. You know I love you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.